So 20.3, handstand push-ups, deadlifts or hand release push-ups, bear crawls and handstand walks. Lots of work needed to be done through posterior chain, so hamstrings, lower back, and also of course through the upper body, the shoulders, ensuring we get a nice overhead position to help with that lockout on the standard or the handstand push-up. So to start with the release of posterior chain, we're going to actually start with the ball underneath the foot. Increasing the movement of the fascia underneath the foot gives you extra length through the posterior chain. So you can even test and retest with the forward fold prior to rolling the feet and then after rolling the feet, and you should definitely see and feel a difference. So nice firm pressure, side to side under the widest part of the foot, and then back and forth through the length of the foot, going from the heel to the toe. So just releasing that plantar fascia, pressing nice and firmly. You want to spend about a minute on one foot before swapping to the other. Then we're going to look at hamstring and low back release. Really nice way to do this is a thick green band, loop it around a rig or something sturdy and bring it right up into just below the hip crease. Take some tension out through the band, and then with the legs slightly bent or fully locked if you have the range, you're just going to drop forward and gently bounce and rock through the front of the foot, and you're going to feel a nice stretch up through the hamstrings and maybe if there's any tension through the low back. So we're just going to hang out here and bounce. You want to spend again at least 30 seconds through this range here. Really nice way to just loosen off through the fascia in the posterior chain. So once we come out of there, we're then looking to make nice shapes with that deadlift, so a nice, good, strong hip hinge. So we're going to use the PVC pipe as a cue. Contact points, tailbone, upper back, and back of the head. Feet underneath the hips, and we're just going to hinge forward and back. So a little bit of prep work, activation work, no load, just looking at mechanics, making sure the range feels okay, and that we're starting to activate through the posterior chain in the right positions. Last little bit of activation work through the hamstrings. We're going to do some dead marches. So we've got some light dumbbells, hanging them from the hands, step through, tap to the floor. So again, just working on that hip hinge, keeping the back nice and flat, and starting to wake up through those hamstrings. Now we're going to look at the upper body and the upper back. We're going to start with a very simple neural floss, known as Egyptians. So arms out like so. You're going to just rotate fully one way and fully back the other way. Just do this 10 to 15 times, making sure we're getting full rotation through both shoulders. Then we're going to open out through the front of the chest. Interlock the hands behind. If that's too difficult for you, use a towel or a pipe and hold on. Pull down and lift up. Just going to work on the extension through the shoulders, just opening out through the front of the shoulder. Nice 30-second stretch. And then thoracic or upper back. Don't need to use stool bars, but I will demo using these. You're going to grab hold of them. If you don't have stool bars, you can just go flat, hands against the wall. Deep breath in. As you exhale, just extend through the upper back. Drop the chest down. Notice the knees are soft, so all the pressure is building through the upper back. Nice bit of extension coming through that thoracic. Gentle rock. Come back up and repeat that as many times as you feel you need to. Last piece of the puzzle for that one is to take it onto the position we'll be using. So whether you're doing a bear crawl or a handstand walk, we want to get the weight down through the hands. And we're going to just press the chest through on the tiptoes, pressing it through that extension again, same position through the upper back. Opening out through the shoulders. Last little bit of movement prep where you can do this on the knees or on the feet. Some scap push-ups. So we're going to hunch the shoulders around and then squeeze the shoulders back together. We're just going to do 10 reps here, making sure the scaps are moving properly. And then we're going to do 10 reps in downward dog. So we push up and drop down, push up and drop down. So they're useful for both handstand walks, bear crawls, and handstand push-ups. So do both sets of those, 10 of each. That's all areas of the warm-up stuff covered. Starting with the lower body, spend more time through the posterior chain if you know your back plays up with heavy deadlifts, keeping that nice hip hinge in place. If you know the overhead range is difficult for you, spend the extra time on the upper body work.